We're going to be looking at different, another way of analyzing data or summarizing data is using charts. So you have different types of charts in Excel. So this is like a Q1 sales. You have January, February, March. It's a simple data for different regions: North, South, East, West Canada, Mexico, and Costa Rica. So I want to like present this. The charts are good when you're doing a presentation and you want to like keep the numbers aside and just compare things without actually putting the numbers there. So it's usually good for presentation. The ways to insert, there are different types of charts. So we have the bar chart. We have column charts. We have line charts. We have pie. We have bar. We have area. We have scatter. And we have stock. They are more advanced. These are more advanced ones. Histogram. We have the waterfall. We have the combination charts. So let's start with the column chart. So we want a column chart. We want to present this data using a column chart. So first thing we need to do is we need to select the data. So in this case, I'm selecting January, February, and March for the regions. Once the data is selected, and it's just as simple as clicking on it, holding your left mouse down and going down. I will go to Insert tab, and I can open this dialog box. Let's start with, I'll go to all charts. So I want to start with column chart. So you have different types up here. I'll pick one of them, and you have an example. This is what it would look like. So you can easily see what it will look like. So I'll pick that, and we have a column chart. I can drag this and move this to the side. So this is a simple column chart, and you can see it's got North, South, East, West, Canada, Asia, Mexico. If I want to reduce the data, maybe I don't see North, South, East, and West, I can click on this chart filter. So there's a filter here. It always looks like an arrow. And I can unselect the ones I don't want to see on this chart and apply. So you can see that I've taken out Canada, Asia, Mexico, and Costa Rica. But looking at this chart, we don't really know which one is north, which one is south, which one is east or west. So let's put a legend on it to show. Yeah, okay, there's a legend down here. So the north is blue, south, east, and west. You can change the type of the chart. So if you click on this paintbrush by the side, there are different options that you can pick. So if we pick this, for instance, it makes the background black. We can decide to like put the figures, embed the figures in it. So for instance, if we use this, then it has the figures on top of it. Or if we use this one, I'll go back to the simple one. The chart title, I can change the chart title. So I want the chart, so you can easily type in, I want this to be regional sales, for instance. And you can easily change that. You can change the data you're picking for this chart. So if you go to select, so you go to the filter, select data, and you can easily just change the data you're picking. So in this case, let me pick this, and okay. And I've changed my selection of data. So that's a simple column chart. I'm going to delete that. We can have a line graph, and it's mainly the same thing. You select the data, insert, there's shortcut A, so this is my line chart, so I can easily click on this to pick the one I want. So let's pick the first one, and that's your line chart. I want to change this chart to another type, or I want to change the colors. So these are the colors. You might have some organization colors you want to apply, and you can change the colors. So if you over it, you see your chart changing, so you can actually see the effect before you actually pick the colors. Let's go with that. You can change the chart to something else. Let's change it to a pie chart. And that's a pie chart. So as long as it's selected, you can easily just go to this chart, change it to whatever you want. That's an area chart, and you always see what it will look like before you actually pick it. That's a bar chart. So it depends on what you're doing and what you want to present. It might be good. Sometimes what you want to present might be good. If it's like percentages, it might be better on a pie chart. So pie chart always works well with percentages. But also other types of charts. So we have the pie of a pie and bar of a pie. So like it looks, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So we'll select the data and we go to charts, all charts. It shoots out of a pie. And that is a pie of a pie chart. So it looks very fancy, you know, when you're doing presentation, you can easily use this. And what it does is it expands a bit, a part of it, and brings out a sub pie. You can also use that for bar of a pie. So for instance, if I want to do bar of a pie, I'll select the data again. I'll go to Insert, Charts, All Charts, Pie, that's bar of a pie chart. And that is it. And you can easily move this chart anywhere you want on your spreadsheet. All you need to do is select and just drag it. So you can drag it anywhere you want. So that's me dragging that. Just select the outer part and then you can drag it. You can make a copy of this pie. So if you hold your Control button down and you select it and you move it down, I've made a copy of this pie chart. So you can make as many copies as you like. It's just by selecting it and dragging it to another place on the spreadsheet. And that's the chart. If you have any questions, please okay, I'm just going to look through the questions now. So give me a few minutes and just look through the questions. How do I know what table to choose and why? So how did you make a copy of the bar chart? Okay. So the table I'm using this is just a sample table. I'm going to delete this. And all I want to see is, I want to see the sales for North, South, East, and the monthly sales. So I'm just using like the data I want to see on the chart really. And to make a copy of the bar chart, so let's insert a bar chart. I'm going to delete this. Let's insert a bar chart and make a copy of it. So insert, all charts. Okay, so make a copy of this. Just click on it, press your Control button down and drag it to another place. It's that simple. So click on it. You can click on it. You can also use a copy file. You can use your copy button to copy this as well. So click on that, copy that, and paste it. You can use your Ctrl+C button to copy, and Ctrl+V will paste it. So anything you can use to copy, you can copy. You can make a copy. You can just click on it with your Ctrl button down and just drag it to another place. Changing the data. Okay. So this is a line chart, or this is a bar chart. We want to change the data. If you click on this filter button, click on the filter, there's an option here, down here, that says select data. So if you click on that, you can see that the data I have for the chart is highlighted. So I can easily change the data I want by selecting another area. So I've selected another area and OK, and I've changed the data. I can also swap the axis. So if I select the data, I can switch the row and column. So there's a button here that says switch row and column. So if you switch row and column, your row becomes the column becomes the row. And OK. And you can see that my months are now here and the amounts are here. Can everyone hear me? Okay, I think okay, just checking. Thank you. Okay. So those are simple ways to make charts. Let's look at pivot tables. Creating pivot tables. Pivot tables are just a basic way of summarizing data. So I'm going to go back to my bike shop data. So this is the sales record of a bike shop, and they have different salespeople, and they want to know how much these salespeople, how much they've sold, how much they've brought in. This is a simple data. The best way to do it is to put it in a pivot table. And the way you do a pivot table is you select the data. Very important. You have to always select the data. Before you do a pivot table, you have to make sure you have your first row. You have something in every cell of the first row. Otherwise, they won't let you create a pivot. So I'm going to show you what it says when you don't have something in every cell on your top row. To create a pivot, you select the data. So we're going to select the data just like we normally do. We'll go to Insert. That's my pivot chart and pivot table. Yours might be a bit different. Let me not use Insert. I'm gonna use data instead. So I'm gonna select it. It's easier to use data. Data. What am I saying? Well, it's Insert. Yeah. So this is my pivot table. So if you go to Insert, pivot table is the first option here. I don't know if whatever version you use, you'll find a pivot table on it. So it's the first one here. So I click on pivot table, and it comes up with a dialog box. So it would already have my range. That's my data here, and it's asking me where I want to put this pivot table. For the purpose of this, I want to put it on this same spreadsheet. You can put it on a new worksheet. So if you put it on a new worksheet, it creates it on a separate tab here. If you use existing worksheet, then it's going to ask you where you want to put it. So let's see. I'm just going to select a bit of it. That's where I want to put the data. And OK. So I have my pivot table. And then you will wait for me to pick my options. What do I want on this pivot table? I want to see sales. I want to see how much each salesperson has brought in. So what I do is, I have my salesperson. I want it on the row. So I drag it down. So you select the salesperson, you drag it to the row. Can you see that it's appeared on the row here? And I want sales. So I just want what they've sold, really. So I'll select my sales and drag it to the values. And that is a simple summary of this spreadsheet, of this data here. And from here, I can easily see that Andrews has sold 20,300. I want to sort this in, I want to sort it in descending order, so I know who is my top sales person. So you can actually put a filter here. So I select the top row, data. Let me put a filter. Sometimes it doesn't let you put a filter on a pivot. I don't know why it does that, but if you put something by the side, sometimes it lets you. So these are the sales people, these are the sums of their sales. I want to sort this by region. I want to be able to filter by region. I want to know what they've sold in different regions, but I want that as a filter. So I have this box there as a filter, so I can drag the region down here, and then I can filter. So you can see that there's region up here, and I can now filter by the region. So if you select multiple, then you have all the regions, and you can, I just want to see Atlantic in this case. Okay. So these are the people who are sold in Atlantic. These are the sales people. And this is how much they've sold in the Atlantic region. To clear this filter, I can just select, and it's okay. I can just select multiple and then click all, and okay. And then I've cleared the filter. I want another level to this. I want to see what the sales people, I want to see the products they've sold. I want to see the products they've sold against everybody. So I can click on this product here and just drag it under salesperson. And I can see that Andrews, the makeup of his 2,300 is bike and skateboard. And Benson has sold bike, skateboard, and snowboard. If I don't want to see like the salespeople, I just want to see the product and what we have sold per product. I can deselect salesperson here. So if I deselect salesperson here, then I know that we have 3 products and this is what we have sold. And the total here should always match the total of my sales. And the easy way to check is if you click on that column, there's a sum that is usually under here, 645,100, and I have 645,100. So I'm sure that my pivot is picking everything on my table, because sometimes when you don't select the old data, then your pivot will be short. So you haven't selected the old data. You will only look at the data you have selected when you selected the data. Let's add the salesperson back. So we have the product back, and let's say we want how many units they've sold of the product. Let's put units here. So I know that Andrew has sold 22 bikes. So I can close this so we can see. So I can say that Andrew sold 22 bikes for 4,400, 4,800. And to present this in a better way, if you right click on this pivot, there are some other options that you can use to right click on to analyze the data. So if you click on pivot table options, I always like so you have some options there. You have data. So data, you can save source data with file. So that means anytime you copy this, then it saves the source data. On the display, the classic pivot table, I always like to use it because it presents it in a better way. So if you look at this pivot, if I click on the classic pivot table and click OK, then it puts all the options on different columns, and then it looks better. If we want to, like last time when I wanted to sort, if you click on it, pivot table options, display, if I sort A to Z, it will sort this data A to Z. If I click on salesperson, I think it's already sorted A to Z. So if you click on this, you can sort A to Z on the filter, or Z to A, and then it starts with sorting. So I will change that. So what else we have on the data? So if you are printing this, it is a large pivot. This will repeat the row label on each printed page is already selected. And if you don't want that, then you can unselect that. So there are a couple of options here. I'm just going to cancel that. One other thing you can do with a pivot is you can add a chart to this pivot. So you can, in addition to this, you can insert a chart. So this is a pivot chart. Let's insert. Should be easy to insert. Let's insert the line chart. It's going to be crazy because there's a lot of data. If I reduce that. So if you notice the option, I had this dialog box on the right side of the screen that I closed because I wanted to see the screen. To get that back, if you go to pivot table tools up here and you go to the field list, then it comes back with your pivot table field list. And I want to put a chart. I want to attach a chart to this. I have too many options here, so I'll just take off. Let me take off products. I don't want to see products. I don't want units. So I just want a simple table. So I'm taking that off. I will just close this box. So I want to insert a chart, pivot chart here. So I click on insert, I click on pivot chart, and I'll just take a simple column one, and that's okay. And I have my chart, and this chart is connected to this pivot table. So you can easily put it on a chart. And if you change this, the chart should change. So let's go back to field list. Instead of salesperson, let's make that product instead. So I want to select product. And just sales per product. And then that's the chart. Okay. So that's a simple pivot table. I'm going to delete this. To delete a pivot table, you have to delete the old table. You cannot change anything on a pivot. So I was trying to cancel out the byte, but it's going to tell you you cannot change anything. You can't change a pivot. So I have to escape. However, you can change the headers. So like for total, I want to put like a pound. It's not even letting me change this. Let's see, product. It should let me change this. Oh, bikes. Yeah. So I can change the product. I can change that, but it won't let me change this. I'll just take delete that. But any of the data, if you need to change anything in a pivot, you have to change the source data itself. You cannot change anything in the pivot. To delete a pivot, you have to delete the whole pivot. You cannot delete part of a pivot. So it will not let you, for instance, if I want to delete that bit, it won't let me. I have to delete the whole pivot. So you have to select the whole pivot and delete. And then that would go. If you want to insert a pivot and you don't have all the headers complete, I'm going to take up sales, for instance. And I want to insert a pivot here. So insert pivot table. and OK, it's going to come up with an error that the field is not valid because there is no header in cell E1. So there has to be a header. You have to have a header on every column for you to be able to insert a pivot. So that's the pivot. If you have any questions, let me know on the pivot. Okay. We can do a bit of some formulas on our Excel. Let's go back to our date, the bike shop, for instance. So we were able to easily, I'll put my pivot back so that we can compare. We were able to easily see the sales per person on a pivot. So if we want, for instance, we want to, without using the pivot, we want to see the sum of all sales, the total sales by the salespeople. So the first thing I'll do is, I just want unique salespeople. So if you want unique salespeople, I would copy. I'm going to make a copy of this spreadsheet. I can put it on another sheet. Ctrl V. So I have this long spreadsheet, but I want unique names. I only want unique names on this spreadsheet. So the way to do it is you go to Home, you go to where is it? Not my data tools. There's an option to delete duplicate. I'm not sure what it is now because I use a different version of Excel at work, so sometimes I don't know where the options are. But there's an option to delete duplicate, which I can't find right now. But I'll use a pivot to delete the duplicate to pick out the unique values. So I'll quickly insert another pivot, existing worksheet. Okay, sales people, yeah. So these are my sales people. So I want to see how much sales, instead of using a pivot, it's another way of doing it. So I want to see how much sales Andrew has made, and I can use a sum if function. So what you do, so the function is called sum if. So what I'm saying is that I want a sum. I want Excel to sum if the salesperson is Andrews. So if I say equal to sum if, you can always bring out your dialog box. Sorry, I think I should actually use a dialog box, not type it in. So formulas equal to let me type it in because I don't use this dialog box, so it would take a while for me to find it. So sum if. So what sum if is saying is just sum if a condition is met. So if you open a bracket and saying sum if, so the range is a salesperson. After typing it in, you can actually bring up the dialog box. I think it will be easier. So it's asking you for the range. What range do you want me to look at? So I'm going to select the salesperson. That's the range I want it to look at. And my criteria is if this range, if it is Andrew. So I just want to click on. So I'm saying sum if the criteria is Andrew, what do you need to sum? So you need to sum the sales. So all I've said is if look at this range, if it's Andrew, just give me the sum of the sales for Andrew. And that's okay. and that is Andrew, which is 2300. And because I've put a formula that references Andrews, if I click on this arrow here at the bottom corner of the cell, and I drag this down, that's dragging the formula down. So what is done is it's calculated for every name just beside it. So this is looking at benzene. If you click on the formula bar, you will see that it's looking at benzene. So it's actually summed. It's actually giving you the total sales for all the sales people. And you can do it for the region as well. You can do it for products. So you can, as long as your reference is the correct cell, then it will give you the sum of this. So that's a simple sum if function. And if you might want to use sum if for whatever reason, but a pivot table will also give you the same result. So a pivot table, so that's my pivot. And we can also copy a pivot. It's just the way we copy the chart. So it's Ctrl C and Ctrl V. And then that's my pivot copied. And I'm just going to put the option of the cells. So I'm going to put the option of the cells. And then we can see, we can compare it to this. No, this is not. Oh yeah. If you notice, my figures are different. The only one correct is Andrews. And the reason why is, if you look at my formula, so there's something called relative formula in Excel and absolute. So my formula is referencing cell F1 to F116. And when I dragged it down, it was moving it down. So it's referencing F2, 117, F3, 118. And I don't want that. I want it to only reference F1 to 116 because that's the data. I don't want it to move down. So what you can do is you make it absolute. The way to make it absolute is you have to put a dollar. You have to put a dollar sign in front of your F and in front of your 1. So that when you drag the formula down, it becomes absolute, is not relative. So it will stay fixed on the F1 and F116. You can type the dollar sign yourself. You can just type it by yourself. Or you can click on it and press F4. If you press F4, it will put your dollar sign. If you press it again, it will take off the dollar from the column and leave the dollar on the row. That is, it's making the column relative and the row absolute. If you press F4 again, it does it the other way around. If you press F4 again, it takes it off. I want to make both column and row absolute. So I'm pressing F4 again and enter. So you always have to do that when you're dragging formulas down. Otherwise, it will pick a different range. So I'm going to drag it down. And then you can see that this matches what we have on the pivot. And the total is a simple auto sum. Enter. And then we can see that it matches perfectly. So always remember, when you drag your formulas down, if you need to drag your formula, remember if you want to make it absolute or relative. So relative is, it will be relative to the new cell, and the cell will move based on the new cell. And when you make it absolute, those cells will not move. No matter where you put the formula, where you copy the formula, it will still reference those cells. So that's absolute. It's really, really important. Yeah, come on. Let's look at some text functions. Let's look at some text functions. Sometimes you might need to analyze data, and your data is all for instance, this is Southwest. So we have a text function. We can break up a text within the cell. So for instance, the left function, this is southwest. I want only the west. Of course, I know I can easily, type west. But sometimes you have like a big data and you just want to do it quickly. So I can. No, I'll use that. So I want. Let's I want south. So you can put a formula in that will just take. It will just count the number of characters and give you whatever you want. So if you type in left, comma, if you click on the cell, comma 5, and close the bracket, it will bring out south from that southwest. That's because you're saying, start counting from the left, count 5 characters, and stop. If you do right on the other hand, if we do equal to right, I want only west. So I'll click on the cell, comma 4. And then it brings out west. And then you can decide that you want mid. So mid, what mid does is it will give you characters in the middle. So left will give you characters from the left, right will count from the right, and mid will give you characters from the middle. So for mid, equal to mid, open the bracket, let me click on this, comma. So mid will ask you where do you want to start. So I want to start from maybe character 4, and I want you to give me 4 characters after that. And then you have this. So we just carve out that bit from the middle. So those are your left, right, and mid functions. Where are we? Okay. If you want to know the length of a character, you can use the len function. And then if you start with equal to, open a bracket, click on southwest, close the bracket. Len equal to len. I'm going to do that again. Okay. Equal to len. Open the bracket, click on it. And what it gives you the length of the character. So this is just the length of southwest is 9. If I drag that down, the length of Pacific is 7. So just simply keep counting the characters in that cell and throwing out a number. Let's see what else do I have. Proper, upper, and lower. Sometimes, you have for instance, if you have names typed up and the names don't start with with capital letter. So if for instance you have a group of names and they don't all start with capital letter and you want them to start with capital letter, you use the proper. So you use the proper function to change the first character to capital, and then you can use the upper and the lower function to change like lowercase and uppercase. So upper, lower. So for instance, I want to change Atlantic, this Atlantic into H16, starts with a lower, a small letter. I want to change it to a proper word. I can do equal to proper, open a bracket, click on it, and close it. And it will change it to, it will start with characters with an upper letter. This is quite significant because you can have a whole load of data that is not like this, and you want to format it. Instead of clicking on it and changing it manually, you can easily use this and then just drag it down, and then you've changed everything to proper. If you want to do upper, so it's equal to upper, click on it, and then you have an upper letter. You want to make it lower, equal to lower, click on this, or click on this upper, and then I have it lower. So these formulas are useful, when you want to quickly change things. Before we go, let me do a quick lookup function. I'm going to delete all this, and I want to do lookup. Let's look at. So I have the simple data here. So I'm going to look up functions. Okay, so you have a long list of data. So I have all these names. Assuming it's a long list, I'm just going to take this off. And I know that my eyes are on column B, and the hair color. So eyes color, column B, hair color, column C, and the names of the people are here. So I want to know what color is Angela's eyes, for instance. So Angela is somewhere. There's a long list of data, and I know Angela is there. I want to know what color is Angela's eyes. I'm just going to copy this here. So the way to look at it is, I would put a VLOOKUP function here to look for Angela and give me whatever is on column B, because I know column B has the eyes, has a high color. And the way to do it is you start with an equal to VLOOKUP. I would open the dialog box. VLOOKUP, let's see. Equal to VLOOKUP. I'm just going to open the dialog box so that you can see the function arguments. So when you start with a VLOOKUP, it will ask you, what do you want to look up? So which is the lookup value here. So I want to look up Angela. That is what I want to look up. So I'll click on Angela, and it's going to tell me, where do you want to look this up? So you need to put a table. I will select the table. This is the table. That's where I want, which is from cell A1 to C5. And it's asking me, where do you want me to look? What column do you want me to look here? I want it to look on column B. That's column 2. So that's A is 1, B is 2. So you just literally need to count, and then I want column 2. And what the range lookup is it's saying, if you can't find Angela, you have to give me exactly what I'm looking for. So if you put false here, what I'm saying is that if you cannot find what I'm looking for, then don't bring anything. Don't look for something that is close to it. If you put true, then it will look for something close to it, and it's usually not right. So I'm going to put false and OK. And what he has done is he has brought in blue, which is Angela's eye color. I can drag this down, and what it will do is it will bring the color for the eyes. So Shelly is yellow, Andy is brown, and Val is brown. So lookup is just make sure you reference the cell, which is the H5. Put the right table. If you look at this table, when I drag the formula down, I didn't make it absolute again, and you should absolutely do that. Always make it absolute, otherwise it would shift. Because I'm looking at the same table for all of them, so make it absolute, drag it down. And then, if for instance, if I have Tom here, and Tom is not on the table, so we come with not applicable. That's because I put false there. I'm saying, if you can't find it, don't bring anything. So Tom is not on that table, so it will come up with NA. So you can't find Tom. So anytime you see an NA, that means what you're looking for is not on your reference table. Index and match works in a similar way as well, but we might not be able to get there today. I'm going to delete I'm going to put it back down so I can show you. So that's NA. If you have enough of names here and you find out that you have a lot of NAs there, if you can't find a lot of names, let's say John and Andy, no, Andy is there. Andy is there. Brown. Okay. A shortcoming of VLOOKUP is if the data, you have to make sure your data is unique. The data you are looking at is unique. Otherwise, it will always look for the first one and bring it. So, for instance, if I have another Andy here, and this Andy on the other hand has gray eyes, you can see that Andy will still be brown because it will only look at, I'm just going to select this, it will only look at the first Andy. So it will always bring the first Andy you have on the list, and Andy will always be brown. So before you do VLOOKUP, you have to make sure your data is unique. If your data is not unique, then I would suggest you use a pivot table to summarize that data. Are there any questions? Can you recall the, okay. So the relative, what's the importance of relative and absolute in data analysis? So relative is good because relative is a flexible one. So I will show you this. I'm going to show you this. So like I want the eye color for all these people. I'm going to make this from this cells relative. So I've made that relative. It's looking at table A1 to C5. I'm going to click on it. Can you see what it's looking at? So that is what it's looking at. If I drag this formula down, look at this Andy. You know Andy is on this table. I'm going to click on this. Can you see where it's looking at? That formula has moved. That is because it is relative. So it's just looking at it in relation to where I put my formula. But because I have this table, this fixed table, I don't want the formula to move. And I know I need to drag this formula down because I need to copy it down. That is why I make it absolute. So I'm going to click on this, click on F4, click on this, click on F4, and enter. And when I drag it down, I'm going to drag that down. You're going to see that that table, that selection has not shifted. So sometimes you need to make the formula relative, and sometimes you need to make it absolute. That's the difference. So can you recall the South formula again? I didn't get that. I'm sorry. I don't get this question. Recall the South formula. What's South formula? South formula. Oh, let me see. So if you can repeat that question, I don't. Oh, okay. So when I wanted just the south, so I used the left because I wanted, so it's the left formula. So if you press equal to left, you type in left, you open your bracket, put in the click the text you want, comma. I know south has 5 characters, so I'll put 5 and I close the bracket, enter, and then it brings south. So what it's saying is it would count 5 characters from the left and just bring me those characters. So that's how you do it. And if it's right, it counts the number of characters you put from the right and just bring you those characters. I hope you've been able to gain something from this. If you have any more questions, let me know. and then I can quickly go through it. Thanks for joining us today.